Hello, everyone. Some amazing breaking news just happened. The U.S. Southern District of New York has just delivered an indictment against Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, the senior senator from New Jersey. And lo and behold, the indictment is for corruption. It's always the ones that you most expect. The details of this indictment, if we can go and put it up there on the screen, are just absolutely stunning. I'm just going to go ahead and read from the text themselves because it is so damning. Quote, Robert Menendez, the defendant, is the senior U.S. senator from the state of New Jersey from at least 2018 up to and including 2022. Menendez and his wife, Nadine, the defendant, engage in a corrupt relationship with 3 New Jersey associates and businessmen. Now, Menendez agreed to and did accept hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in exchange for using his power and influence as a senator to seek, protect, and enrich the 3 businessmen and benefit the Arab Republic of Egypt. Those bribes included cash, gold, payments towards a home mortgage, compensation for a low or a no-show job, a luxury vehicle, and other things of value. This is just straight out of like an episode of The Sopranos. You really can't even make it up. They continue. Menendez promised to and did use his influence and power, breach his official duties in ways that benefited the government of Egypt and an Egyptian-American businessman. He provided sensitive U.S. government information and took other steps that secretly aided the government of Egypt. He also improperly advised and pressured an official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the purpose of protecting a business monopoly granted to one of those individuals that I mentioned and Egypt, and used in part to fund the bribes being paid to Menendez. Second, he promised to and did use his influence and power to seek to disrupt a criminal investigation, a prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to one of these individuals. And then third, he promised to and did use his influence and power, breach his official duty to recommend that the President of the United States nominate an individual to U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey who he believed could be influenced by him with respect to any federal prosecution of one of the people who was paying him. If you guys want to see the evidence, let's just go ahead and put this up there on the screen. They discovered over $480,000 in cash in this man's house. Quote, much of it stuffed into envelopes, hidden in clothing, as you can see in front of you, including jackets with his freaking name on it. Quote, was discovered along with over 70 grand in his wife's safe deposit box. Some of the envelopes contained the fingerprints of and the DNA of the actual businessmen who were paying him. Quote, other envelopes were found inside of jackets bearing his name hanging in his closet as depicted. They also found, this I can't even make up, 2 gold bars that were depicted that you could see in the image. 2 literal bars of gold. Over $100,000 worth of gold sitting in the man's house. I mean, also, parked in the garage of the Menendez home was a luxury vehicle that was provided by one of these businessmen. So, yeah, they're going to be having a press conference at 11 a.m., but, I mean, the details of this are just too juicy. And to give everybody an idea, and why I said it was the people you most expect, Menendez has already been on trial for bribery and corruption charges. So in 2017, he actually had a mistrial after the feds brought the charges against him. It was a 6-day deliberation. For somehow he was able to beat 18 separate counts. Anyway, I'm still very curious as to how that happened. The details of that case, I mean, I've talked about it on the show before. He basically sold political influence, or allegedly, to this doctor for, quote, vacations in the Caribbean and Paris, flights on the doctor's jet, hundreds of thousands of dollars in contributions to campaign organizations that supported the senator directly or indirectly. In return, prosecutors at that time said that he pressured government officials on that doctor's behalf over an $8.9 million Medicare billing dispute, and stalled a contract to provide port screening equipment in the Dominican Republic, and also helped obtain U.S. visas for the 63-year-old doctor's girlfriend. So, not exactly out of character for the senior senator from New Jersey. Honestly, good for the feds. They brought it against him because he beat the charge. What's crazy is that was in 2017. That was his mistrial. So after he didn't get acquitted, let's be clear. He just didn't get convicted because there was a hung jury. After that hung jury, in 2018, that's when this whole Egyptian scam started. He's been keeping this stuff up for years. I mean, it's just cartoonish. It's like the most cartoonish display of corruption. At the same time, there's a piece of news that dropped today. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas apparently was attending donor conferences, Republican donor conferences, like direct political action ones. I mean, you know, these people, they believe, so they believe to their core. They're better than you and I. They deserve it. You know, the cash, they earned it. They're not serving. The only people they're serving are themselves and the freaking businessmen that are paying them. You can't even make this stuff up, man. It's disgusting. It's blood curdling to read the details of this. We're going to link it down in the indictment. You can go read it for yourself. Like I said, the feds are going to do a press conference at 11 a.m. But guess what? Based on his behavior, he ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He won't resign. He didn't resign last time. The Senate, they didn't do it. The Dems, they didn't do anything about it. They're like, oh, well, you know, jury of his peers didn't convict him. Also, he's a freaking Senate Foreign Relations chairman. It's like, what do we have to do? He's literally the chairman on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and he's taking straight up bribes, allegedly, you know, to influence the government of Egypt. That's what we're living in right now, folks. That's what we're living in. I'll see you guys later.